Hello again and welcome back to my channel, Complicated Relationships Reddit Stories. Hope you guys are safe and healthy. Now let's see what the story is about today. In today's story, the man says, I did my best to comfort her while she was going through a difficult time, but she thought the best thing is to seek outside affection. Yes, my wife cheated on me and now telling me that she's in love. Now let's find out all about it in today's story. Also, if you like what I do, please give this video a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel.
This morning, I woke up in my sister's house and I'm immediately in tears. My wife and I have been together 10 years and married for 7. We never had a perfect relationship, but we were both happy. We struggled to have kids and eventually did an IVF and now have a gorgeous baby girl who is now 2. It seems the past 5 or so years were all about getting pregnant for her. She quit her job to reduce stress and I supported her in doing that. Financially, we've never had to worry because her family is wealthy and she has a trust fund which owns our house and pays for most of our bills. Despite this, I've continued to work as a lawyer, which I don't like, and started my own firm last year. In 2020, we were pregnant again after yet another round of IVF, but she miscarried, which is very rare when you're doing IVF, I'm told. I wasn't allowed in the hospital with her when it happened, and she was emotionally scarred from the experience. Her parents and I suggested she should get therapy for it, but she refused. I feel like I did my best to comfort her, but she spiraled into a depression, and her way of getting out of it was to seek outside affection. One of the things we would argue about was my discomfort with her having friendships with other men, all of whom she met and has been friends with for many years before me, but I felt it was wrong for a married woman to be so frequently texting with other men.
Now, most days, they would be home watching TV, and if OP looks over, she was on the phone, often texting some other man.
Some of these friendships were truly platonic. I don't know if she cheated in the past, but she could have. I'm a trusting and forgiving person, and I gave her too much room. In retrospect, I feel like an idiot for not leaving her years ago just because she wouldn't respect my wishes that she not have these relationships. We had several arguments over me finding that she was texting her ex-boyfriend, and sometimes I felt like she thought she could do whatever she wants. This was all so painful too, because if you ask anyone who know us, would say that I am a wonderful father and husband. I truly don't know why someone I love would be so cold to me. After the pregnancy incident, we started to drift further apart. We didn't have a great physical intimacy before, but after that, it drifted from a few times a week to once or twice a month. I lost interest, and so did she. We both admitted that we didn't enjoy being intimate. She is very beautiful, but for some reason, I just stopped wanting to have relations with her, and she stopped trying too. I began to resent the fact that she didn't work and would spend her days napping or watching TV while I worked in our home office. Our daughter is in full-time daycare, and we have a weekly maid service, so she doesn't have a lot of responsibilities.
In September 2020, she told OP that she was going to visit a friend in California. In reality, she saw her ex and later admitted that they kissed, but it was probably more than that.
I found out when I found texts on her phone about it a month later. We were almost going to divorce, but we decided to work it out. So the past 6 months were better. She went to therapy, and we talked about couples counseling too, but she wanted to work on herself first. I felt like things were getting better. We bought a new house and had a big party for our daughter's 2nd birthday. And she invited this guy, a friend she hadn't spoken to in years, but had reconnected with on Facebook. Of course, I was annoyed, but 10 years of conditioning and fighting told me I couldn't object. Well, now she is having a relationship with him and says she is in love. Of course, I found out by snooping. Even after being caught, she denied it and gaslighted me for days. When she finally admitted it, she said she wanted an open relationship. I considered it. I'd enjoy having new partners as well, but as we discussed it the next day or so, I realized that kind of relationship only works if you place your primary partner above anyone else, so my wishes should always be first. I told her I would be open to it, but not with this guy because it made me uncomfortable that she said she loved him.
She refused to stop seeing him and acted as OP was unreasonable.
Day before yesterday was day 3 after I knew she'd been cheating. We agreed to this open situation, but I was still unhappy. I found myself having breakdowns multiple times a day. For one day, she put on the facade of telling me I was her number one, and she doted on me all day. At the end of the day, she announced that once her daughter was in bed, she was going to his place. This upset me, and she said, "Okay, fine, I won't go," and then pouted for the next few hours. Finally, I just told her to leave because I knew that's what she wanted. So, she left. I woke up at 2 a.m. alone with our baby crying. I called her and told her I missed her and would like her to come home. She was very annoyed and said she would be home before our daughter woke up. When she came home yesterday, she was cold to me. I wasn't her number one, and she said she needed to think about what she wanted. I asked her to work with me on this open situation and be understanding how hurt I am. I asked that she not have overnight stays with him, and she argued with me that there was no difference. This made me realize that an open marriage wouldn't work because she doesn't respect my wishes. She loves him, and it doesn't seem like she loves me anymore. So I packed a bag and took my daughter to my sister's house.
Since OP left, the wife hasn't made any effort to reach out to him other than to ask how their daughter is.
I woke up this morning to a text asking when I was coming home. I responded that I wasn't because you don't want me anymore. It's been over an hour with no response. I'm a mess, but I guess better not being there. I just can't believe this is happening. I feel so sad and alone and betrayed. I'm fearful about my future because she owns everything and I signed a prenup that says I get nothing but what I came in with, which was nothing. So now I'm 35, starting over with nothing. My law firm is just barely starting to make a profit, but I also miss her and desperately want her to reach out and tell me she loves me. I'm sure she's happy I'm gone, though. I just ask God what I did to deserve this, how someone I love could hurt me so badly. Edit: I took my daughter with me, but I am not preventing my wife from seeing her. If she called right now wanting to pick her up, it would be fine.
Now, here is the first update.
It has been a few days, and I'm now living in my in-laws' guest house, which is close to our house, and my daughter, who is with my wife. The past couple of days, I've been going through waves of emotions. First, I feel utter sadness and having breakdowns. Then, I reassure myself that divorce is the only option. My wife continues to see the other man and says she doesn't believe we could reconcile. I know that she treated me poorly, gaslighted me, lied to me multiple times over the years, and failed to love me the way I needed to be loved, but I still love her and miss the days we were happy. Neither of us want a divorce, but we were both miserable together. I'm mourning this loss right now, and I don't know how to get past it. I know it's only been a few days since we split, but this feeling needs to go. Every few hours, my brain triggers this panic response, and it tells me, you have to fix this. Just talk to her and work it out. I'm tempted to, but I know it won't. I want to deactivate that thought process, but it's uncontrollable. Part of that tells me we have to do this for the sake of our daughter, and if we just focus, we can make it work. Again, my wife doesn't want to try, and she's apparently happy with someone else. Then, I go through this post-mortem of our relationship and blame myself for a lot of what went wrong.
OP says he feels like an idiot and such a failure, especially because he prided himself in being a great husband, but in her eyes, OP failed her and insensitive when she needed him the most.
Occasionally, I feel hopeful and mildly excited about my future. Maybe I'll love being single again. Maybe I'll meet someone that makes me happier than she ever did. Someone more tolerant. Someone with passions. Someone who exercises. She loathes physical activity, whereas I used to love it. But years with her made me less and less active. Someone who I have better physical chemistry with. We both admitted we had better physical relations with others before the marriage. Someone my family loves. I'd say they felt they never could get close to her. Someone that loves adventure. Someone who would tell me if they're unhappy enough to cheat before doing it. Someone that encourages me to be better. I hope it happens soon. Edit: today is 1 week since I discovered the infidelity. My sadness still lingers, but anger is breaking through. Tomorrow, we have a counseling session to discuss how we can move forward on parenting our daughter. All I want to do is scream at her, and I'm worried I will be very angry in the counseling session.
Now, before we go to the final update, if you like what you heard so far, please give this video a thumbs up so this video will reach more and more beautiful people like you around the world. Now, here is the final update.
I moved out and now living in my own house. Tonight is my night with our daughter. My soon-to-be ex called and said she wanted to come over to play with her for an hour or so. I said no and told her I don't want her in my house, that she is not a friend because friends don't do the horrible things she did to me, so she is not welcome inside my house. If she wants to see our daughter on nights she is not watching her, she can come and take her to the park or something, but I refuse to allow an enemy in my house. She said, "You can't do this to our daughter. We need to act like a family for her." And I said, "We aren't a family, and you're the one that did this, not me. I will not let her manipulate me to get what she wants. So, I guess I am finding my self-worth again, but it will likely cause more headaches in the future. I don't care. I won't be pushed aside and treated like I should just accept it. I won't make it easy for her to use me like that."
Now here are some additional info that OP wanted to share. After cheating and splitting up our family and dividing our 2-year-old daughter between 2 houses, this weekend she posted a photo of a wine bottle that had "Congratulations on your divorce" written on the label on Facebook. For your information, we are not even divorced. Initial papers were filed, we have a divorce agreement, but we have to wait 60 days for it to be approved. During that time, I could back off if I want. Multiple mutual friends reached out and asked me about it. I have unfriended her on everything. They sent me a screenshot and I sent it to her and said it was very hurtful and low class to post something like that. She said she had taken it down, but then wanted to know who told me about it. I responded it didn't matter. And then what I wrote to her is as follows. "Just please have some empathy in the future. This whole thing has been hurtful, and this kind of thing makes me feel like that you think I was a terrible husband in our entire relationship, and that's what posting something like that tells other people. That you're happy to get rid of me, it's just sad. I wish you would have respect for our relationship and for me. I tried really hard for many years. I loved you and had good intentions. I never intended to divorce. I was a good husband, and that post implies I wasn't." She responded, "I do want to know who sent it to you so I can unfriend them. Is this woman a sociopath? What is exactly wrong with her? We were together for 10 years and married for 7. Like, where is the empathy? This is not the first or the 10th insensitive or ridiculous thing she had done since we split. If anyone wants to know, here is my long response, which she did not respond. I see your priorities are off. You did the non-empathetic thing and ignored my plea to you and just focused on your own selfish obsession with finding out who betrayed you. Nobody did. They just reached out because they were concerned and said they saw your wife's post about getting divorced. I asked, what post? I would say there were more than a couple of people who called me over the weekend and today. We have 88 mutual friends on Facebook, including a lot of your family members. You don't think some of them are actual friends to me? Are you going to unfriend everyone? Please be smarter than that. And please don't post things that could be hurtful to your daughter's father. It's like you want to make things worse. What if she was old enough to be on Facebook? Would she be happy to see something like that? Our mutual friends deserve their privacy too, and just because you can hide something from people doesn't make it right. I'm still our daughter's dad, and I'd hope you'd at least think about that before you do something to hurt me in the future. Please have respect for our once great relationship that created a beautiful child, and don't celebrate like you were a battered woman with a cheating bad husband you couldn't stand. I deserve that at least. End of the message. I have a girlfriend who is loving and supportive and has been with me throughout all of this, and I'm so thankful to her. I sometimes feel like I'm doing both her and me wrong by not sorting the divorce first before pursuing a relationship. That's all for now. Thank you all for listening. Please like, comment and share the video if you enjoyed it. Also, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you will be notified when we upload the next video. Take care.